EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present final round coverage of the PGA Championship. They have gathered from around the world here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final major championship of the year. We will crown our next PGA Championship winner. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Happy to be here calling all the action. Frank, what is the mindset for this final major of the season?
I think it's taken a long time to get here, but it's well-deserved, Rich. When you think of the luster of the Wanamaker Trophy, winners like Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth of recent, but Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, the list goes on and on. The fourth major, some say the defining major of the year, but played at a golf course that we're well used to now. So I'm looking forward to it, Rich. Nice.
Looks good. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut. Oh, they've had some meat behind it.
Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday.
That looked like it nearly got below the lip, the level of the lip there.
Can't believe that one, Frank. That was a complete horseshoe right there. This for par. So, hanging in down the stretch with a par. Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise. Rich, I'm amazed how much the PGA Championship has changed over these last 10 to 15 years. Their choice of venues have really upgraded the championship. It's no longer just the fourth major. In some respects, it's a professional golfers championship now. We have the Masters, we have the US Open, we have the Open Championship, but now we have a setup at the end of the year for the fourth major that allows these guys to showcase their skills. It's not overly tough, it's not overly brutal, it's scoreable, but the thing about it, it's a test.
And it's the only major championship set up by the professional golfers of America. It's a fair setup. The players will tell you that. There's nothing tricky about it. And when you take these majors to the great venues, so often it gives you the great champions. What a beautiful roll right there, dead center. Moving on to the third hole now. It's a par 4, 452 yards.
Big sweeping dogleg left, and the fairway actually goes in the opposite direction of the dogleg. Must hit a good tee shot for two reasons. One, to find the fairway, and also the length of this hole, over 450 yards.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Not the lie you would hope for in the second cut, 180 yards left. Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Frank, so many variables in any golf shot, but one of the most important, obviously, is club selection.
People often just blindly grab a club, right? They look at a yardage, they go, I'm going to hit the same club. But what about if you're uphill, downhill, end of the breeze, all those other things? And where's the flag?
Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So I got to give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Going to tap out on this hole for the week for another bogey on this hole. Oh, I thought he had that. That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double. Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. That is a brutal double bogey right there. And suddenly the lead is vanished.
Yeah, just when it looked like plain sailing.
Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. Frank, thank goodness for our featured golfer that his thumbs are not on any important military equipment. We'd all be in trouble. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Anything you do differently with your setup?
Just dig my feet into the sand a little bit more, but make sure you focus on the exact spot on the ball you want to hit.
Frank, not close, but not bad either.
You can always make the odd 20-footer, and that's exactly how far they are away.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
there.
Huge bonus making that one.
Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This is a good-looking shot. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. Racking him and stacking him. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Wow, Frank, this is all you want in a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3.
Headed for the bunker? That one is in the bunker. Yet again, in the bunker off the tee. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aimed the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole in the lead, Frank is very much intact. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on, do you go for this par 5 and 2? It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
No fairway here. This one in that rough. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh, so close. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Has his par. Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, lay it up. If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Birdie try again here today. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fowlers have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
315. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Just a pure strike and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Getting set now over the putt.
that not go in? Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. In for par. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Try up next. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Good putt. Down to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose, but be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut, not too bad. Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
Early part of his back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Oh, another one goes in.
Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently, it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right. and then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know you line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Sit down, get down.
Oh, this is gone.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
These are the kind of putts that keep a round going about 10 feet away for par. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Now the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion. There's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Well, this could be good. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong 3-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards as the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard 3-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Good contact, good result. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, on this approach shot here at the short par 4 14th, what's the best way to attack this flag?
Height's always a safety factor because the ball's going to land softer. So this is one where you'd opt for an aerial approach rather than a little pitch and run.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
Still snack though.
Frank, this is a player in full flight right now.
It looks too easy right now.
Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. There you have it. Well done. Great putt. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Should be safely on deck.
And that one ends up about 25 feet from the hole. This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Did the job right there. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep.
Amazing. Amazing.
Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you get the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe 2 clubs going way up that hill to the green. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
To win the PGA Championship. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, who are the best putters you've ever seen, and what did they do that made them so effective?
Well, there was always the Crenshaws that putted beautifully, but the best when it comes down to it, the Tiger Woodses and the Jack Nicklauses, the ones that made them when they had to.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Charity Invitational. All set to go. We take you to the first hole. Frank, were you the kind of player who actually might have been worried if you didn't have first tee jitters?
Definitely. You didn't have the energy if that was the case. But it's about turning that energy into some sort of positive form. Make nice full swings. Pick some good targets. And, of course, you never know what's going to happen.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
So just a formality here. A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. And ready to tee off here at the par 4, 391 yards second.
Yeah, it's not overly long. The biggest priority for the players is just avoiding the bunkers. All 11 of them, whether it be with your tee shot or the second hole. But at that modest length, it is very much a birdie hole.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one safely on.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Moves up into the top 25 with that par. Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a burn there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Birdie try up next.
It's at sneaky distance.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
-1 in early going. Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. He just missed the bunker. He's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. And it makes the green in regulation. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
That might go unnoticed, Rich, but that birdie just sneak inside the top 15.
Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Just a couple of feet. Holding steady now at 2 under par. Moving on to hole number 6 here at Royal Troon. Frank, what are the golfers facing at this long par 5?
Well, you've got to attack this hole in chunks, Rich. Just allow the mounding on the right to kick the ball forward, then try and position that second shot. Keep well away from that pot bunker that's a little bit short, about 30 yards right and short of this green. That is the one that causes the problem.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, the Open Championship will be played at Royal Troon in 2016. It was first played back in 1923. What was first prize then?
A mere 75 pounds, so that equates to about $150 US. And just to give you an idea, the last time they played there, Rich, was back in 2004 when Todd Hamilton beat Ernie Els. He got a whopping 720,000 pounds. That's right, nearly $1.5 million.
The money's nice, but every player would tell you, Frank, it is still all about that claret jug.
It is, and that's actually suited the Americans because since 1962, they've been to Troon 6 times, and 6 times the victor has been American.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, I thought he made that. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
He has this for par. Knocked that down for par, remains at 4 under. And what happened here in 1973?
The old squire, Gene Sarazen himself, made an ace.
He was 71 years old playing his final Open. That is classy.
They had a chance of going in. Just moving that much closer to the leader now, Rich.
Ready to go here at the 9th at Royal Troon Golf Club. 423 yards. What are you looking to do with this one, Frank?
Well, it's another one that's a dogleg left. It's called the Monk, actually, because it faces the village of Monktown. One bunker on the left, 285 yards to carry that, but it's not that you're trying to carry it, it's you're trying to cut the ball off that.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that.
That's a good par there, Rich.
Getting set for the back nine here at Royal Troon. Frank, break down the 10th.
Little dogleg to the left, blind tee shot. Fairway starts to run out about 290 yards, so you've got to be cognizant of that.
pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. This one looks right on point. What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Frank, if you needed a reminder as to just how difficult this 11th hole is, none other than Jack Nicklaus had his problems here.
Yeah, he turned pro in 1962. He just won the US Open at Oakmont, and then he came to Troon, and on the 11th hole, he made a 10. That's right, double digits.
Well, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Right in the fairway and 180 yards from here.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
He'll need to be strong with this.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position.
That's a good par given the situation.
Still tight, still close. Back here on the bonny shores of Scotland at Royal Troon Golf Club with just a wee breeze, as they say over here, Frank. On the tee at the 12th.
The hole that bends to the right, gorse right and left. There's a bit of a mound and rough down the right side. That has to be avoided. That's fine.
Frank, what a turn of events here.
You're absolutely right, Rich. This round started off completely on the wrong foot, but he's managed to somehow keep his composure and turn this round completely in the other direction.
This is a good-looking shot. Just a pure strike, a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. And getting ready for the putt. Now to 7 under par. And now the tee shot here at the 472-yard par 4 13th.
A hole that bends to the right, ideally hit it down the left side, and then you're playing to a raised two-tiered green.